Well, hello, how are you doing? And today I'm going to be talking to you about the oils that we have at the center for crisis support. And basically, the box is sitting in the Youth Crisis Triage Center in the intake room. And I'll be looking at seeing maybe putting extra rollers in the other conference rooms so that way they're available for you. But really, we want to train you first if you decide you want to try to use these oils within your therapy sessions. The the oils are really incredible, and they work with both the spirit, mind, and body, and it all is like in the one universe, right? And the oils are all made of energy, and so are we. We are made of energy, so we are wanting to map the oils. The youth is diminished in energy. So, for example, depression or all these other things, if they're lacking that, then we have oils that actually can help support that. So part of the process is going through, and the trick is this app. You can download this emotions app. It's about $15. It might be a little bit more than that. It looks like the screenshot might have been taken a while ago. But this app is incredible. It updates itself. There's only a one-time cost, and it's incredible. So whenever we get new oils or they want to make some additions to things and stuff like that, that is something that you'll get all the time. I have purchased the books, and the books are nice to have, but they're always so outdated. So we always are getting new oils all the time, and it's nice to be able to have all the different ones. Okay, so basically, the app works off the emotion aspect. So if you click on this tab, it will show you a list of a bunch of different emotions. And if you click on this tab, it will show you all these different essential oils in a list. And if you click on this body tab, it actually will, like if you're having an ailment in the body, like a backache or stomach ache or something, it will actually map the emotion to what that is. And then you can find the oil to support that. Many times there's a group of oils that are on this app, and the reason why there's a group of oils is that everybody's bodies are different, and so it's your job is to be able to set the expectations with the client saying, "Hey, we know that lavender essential oil is very calming and relaxing, but it may not be as powerful of an oil for you, so let me know and we can find a different oil if you'd like." So on this slide, I wanted to show you the different tabs and what they look like inside the app. And so this tab being the emotions tab, sometimes you can talk with the youth and say, "How are you feeling?" And they say they're feeling sad or stressed. And so I picked up stress on this one, and it will give you a list of different oils that are mapped to helping support the body with stress. And serenity was one. Usually, what we do is we'll ask the person, um, what they're feeling like, and if they say something. And with the oils that we have at the center, serenity will show up on a lot of them because it's a very calming oil. And then you can kind of quickly read the same. What burdens are they carrying that they're not their own? Um, and as you've been talking to the client, you may be able to map some of these questions to them to help them ponder and think about what they're going through. Have them use the oil, and then they can declare some affirmations and how they can visualize to be able to give them a responsive crisis plan. So, like we're talking about the crisis plan at the center, this could be something that you could write down. Like, some good ways to distract myself are using the Serenity essential oil, rub it on the neck. It has different ways you can use the oil and stuff like that. So, if you go over here, you can see more of a description. You're welcome to read this out loud to the person. Hey, this essential oil does this. Does this sound like something that you would like to try? And then you can use it aromatically or topically. And the emotions that are going to be addressing are the stressed emotions. So if they like that, write it down on their crisis plan. And or I usually, give people homeworks on some visualization exercises or something like that. Then over here, we can look at maybe what are the body functions are. I just picked one, and it was hormones, and actually, stressed was one of the emotions listed on that. So You can look deeper into the boundaries. What are you feeling true to yourself? All this stuff maps through really very nicely. It just helps you with some good questions to ask the client. So on this next slide, if you remember watching the emotions class that I taught and have that recording there, you're going through life experiences, and everybody makes a decision about those experiences. And when they process it, they declare something. So I have to figure this out. I feel overwhelmed and I'm stuck. And the different mind, heart, gut, the different parts of the body process it different. And so if they're having a stomach ache or constipation or anything like that, it could mean that they don't know how to process that particular emotion. If they're getting heartburn, things like that. So being able to look these things up are really a great way to help them begin the processing uh, aspect of it. The reaction, what they decide, I have a headache, unsettled gut, all these things like that, again, like I said, is a reaction to their emotion. And then the affirmations work really well on the belief aspect. Like if they're believing I'm not good enough, with the slide here, we have affirmations that they declare. I'm now adopting the belief that all things work together for my good. Close your eyes and visualize. Imagine peace flowing down through your body. See light encircle your body. Listen to your breath. And then maybe do a breathing exercise and teach them how to do that. So here's an emotions chart. Now I know we have several of them at the center, and the emotions training has one too. And I couldn't find it. I think it's at the center when I was doing this, but it has a lot of different emotions on it. And I keep telling myself I'm going to make one that's a little more simplified, so we can have the kids just pick a few less emotions, so that we can narrow. I mean, sometimes when you have 30 emotions and they're overwhelmed, that's just not going to help, right? So, anyhow, here's some emotions. Maybe the child can point to this. Maybe they're not able to talk. And if the child is not doing a good job communicating, pull out the lavender oil. The lavender oil is really good for that. And maybe you can even talk about what weeds do you want to weed out? What thoughts are you having that are not serving you? And going through and saying, having them talk about those thoughts. Again, we talked about the three brains. The mind is the director. So the subconscious mind directs over 90% of the behavior. Isn't that incredible? The heart is a discerner. More neural pathways run from the heart to the brain than the brain does to the heart. That's incredible. Isn't that amazing? The gut is the processor. 90% of the serotonin is processed through the gut, and that is important to know, right? So the type of foods we eat is going to help feed the levels of serotonin that we have in our body. So here's this emotional root. I just wanted to point this out again. When you're looking at the emotional root of being stubborn, maybe they have middle back pain, that's often associated with that. And these oils are good choices to start with. Now, it's not all of these oils. Again, you can look at one oil, have the person smell it if we have it at the center. And I know peppermint's at the center. So pick out the ones that we have there. And I'm sure as time progresses, we will have more oils there that we find more common. This is a chart that I really love because sometimes people ask, well, how do you know what oil to use? And sometimes, if you look at the oils you have, you've got some tree oils like cedarwood, arbor vitae, or sandalwood. Maybe there's some flower oils like flower is melissa, helichrysum, or rose oil. Usually the rose oils are really pretty expensive, but I love the analogy of how the petals are really tight, like a big tight hug. And as it opens up to the sun, the petals open up, and so the hug releases and it opens your heart up to the light. And just the analogy of understanding what the plant is and what's happening, you can get an idea of how the oil is going to help support the body. Like mints are very invigorating, right? So maybe you're feeling disinterested or about something, you can use the mint oils to help waken the senses. Citrus oils are like, oranges are and citrus are grown up in the tree near the sunlight, and they have, like, lots of serotonin in them, so they're very refreshing and invigorating as well, so they're gonna be more uplifting because they're up in the sun. Spices are just like that. So if you wanna spice your light up, if you're feeling, somber, disinterested, bored, or anything like that, choose a spice oil. We have many spices like, cardamom, rosemary, all these kinds of spices are really wonderful for that. Herbs and grasses, sorry, too, that's also part of that too. It's like, grasses would be like lemongrass, um, vetiver, and notice that it's on the bottom of the chart. And so a lot of these are close to the ground, right? So they're going to be more grounding. Tree oils are very strong, very structure orientated. And so if you're grieving or you just need some foundation to your life, then tree oils would be really great oils to reach for. So how do the oils work? Now, this is really important because the next slide I'm going to show you really is really incredible. So this is a cell, and remember the essential oils will penetrate the cell wall. So if you rubbed the oils on the bottom of your feet, you can taste it in your mouth a couple minutes later. So they're going to be very effective transporting these amazing hundreds of different compounds throughout the whole body, and so they're going to find where the areas need to be addressed at the cellular level. I hope, oh, did I go the wrong way? I hope this video works. I don't think it has any music to it, so there's no talking. It's very grounding. So they're going to take a sample of a person and put it under a scan and take a look at it. So here, somebody said under the microscope, and this is what the blood looks like. These cells are all stuck together, they're coagulated, they're lethargic, and this is for a reason. Like, there's no energy in here. So, what they do is they go ahead and give this patient a drop of balanced essential oil. Look at how just stuck together they are. No wonder we're half asleep. The sample B is the individual received 30 seconds, you guys, and they took a blood draw, and this is what they see under the microscope. Isn't that incredible? Look at how quickly the, they just whoop, and they're bouncing off each other, they're not stuck, they have a lot of energy, they're vibrant, and so this is why people love, love, love the essential oils is because of the effect that you're getting. So, yeah, it's pretty cool, huh? And this, I used to watch this, um, video in classes all the time. Yeah, let's see if I can get to the next slide here. So balance essential oil is this is the labels that we have on the bottles. I wanted to make sure that we had Touchstone Counseling on here with the Everson address. And if they're in crisis, they can call 988. But this is I love what Erica said is that this is like a tangible item that they can take with them. And each oil has its own properties, right? So balance oil offers tranquil aroma, suggesting harmony to the mind and body and balance to the emotions. And so basically, what I did is I just took some of this and tried to summarize it so it would be enough for them to know how to use it and that it can be used topically and aromatically. So, balance oil is primarily a combination of tree oils and roots. So, it's going to be really grounding. Balanced soft energy is excellent for calming overactive children who have difficulties settling down. It is also a wonderful remedy for those who need to reconnect with their roots. Balance strengthens a connection with the body and with the earth, providing inner strength and fortitude. Balance teaches individuals to ground their energy and to manifest their vision with patience of a tree. So basically, the negative emotions it's going to be addressing is scattered, ungrounded, disconnected, and unstable. The positive properties that you can find as the benefit for using this oil are grounded, stable, connected, committed, self contained, inner strength, and preserving. So the oils that are in this blend, because this is a blend, are spruce ho wood, frankincense wood, blue tansy, which is the flower. It's that small little white flower like a daisy, blue chamomile, and osmosis. And so basically, this one smells amazing. A lot of the um, people like to use this as like an aftershave. A lot of men do, and so it's very a nice woodsy, grounding smell, and very powerful. The next oil is adaptive. Adaptive stands for adapting to change. So if you're talking to an individual and they've had a lot of changes going on in their life, like moved schools or divorce or lost a parent or grandparent or something like that, this is a really beautiful oil to give them. This is an oil that assists in anxious states. It imparts reassurance and calm. When individuals have experienced prolonged stress or traumatic experiences, adaptive helps with clarity and confidence. And again, this is the more descriptive oil. Description of the oil. Adaptive was formulated to assist with anxious states. It imparts reassurance and calm when one is caught in cycles of constriction, tension, worry, solitude, or uneasiness. When the individual has experienced prolonged stress or traumatic experiences, the mind body responds by becoming hypervigilant in order to protect them from the future harm. This state is antithetical, I can't say that word, to well-being and positive functioning. Adaptive helps individuals adapt to stressors and fears in more clear, constructive, confident ways. The negative emotions that this oil addresses are anxiousness, uneasy, worried, self critical. That's a really good one to keep in mind because a lot of girls are self critical about things, maybe over obsessing, controlling, and fearfulness. The positive properties are reassurance, calm, clear, confidence, acceptance or self acceptance, liberated, trusting, upheld, and safe. Isn't that incredible? The ingredients in this oil are wild orange, lavender, copaiba, spearmint, neroli, sweet gum, and laurel leaf. So copaiba is an essential oil, the brother of the frankincense essential oil. So it's from a tree in Brazil, and it has pain supporting properties. And neroli is from the bark of a tree. Actually, it's the flower of the wild orange tree. And so that's really a beautiful uplifting oil. Frankie. Frankincense was probably too big of a word to put on that label, so I just put the fun word Frankie on there. And frankincense is the king of oils. With in doubt, reach for frankincense. Frankincense reveals deceptions and false truths. It invites you to let go of the lower vibrations, the lies, the deceptions, and negativity. Brings understanding, gifts, and wisdom. This oil can be taken internal as well. So if you're having an episode in the crisis room, you can roll some of this on their thumb and tell them to put it in the mouth, on the roof of their mouth. And this will penetrate the blood brain barrier and de escalate them very quickly. And this one kind of smells like turpentine. So it's kind of a strong, funky taste too, but it's okay. This, put it in them, on them, around them, or something so that they can actually get that benefit, okay? Frankincense reveals deceptions and false truths. It invites individuals to let go of the lower vibrations. This is huge. When we have that lower vibration going on in our body, it's very hard to think positive and look up to things. It also talks about the lies, the deceptions, and the negativity. Like that's that darkness, right? That people have. Frankincense recalls to memory, spiritual understanding, gifts, wisdom, and knowledge that the soul brought into the world. It is a powerful cleanser of spiritual darkness. Frankincense also supports in creating a healthy attachment with one's father. It assists in spiritual awakening and helps the individual feel the love of the divine. I just love this oil. It's really just amazing. The negative emotions that it addresses are abandonment, spiritually disconnected, distant from Father, unprotected, spiritual darkness, and misaligned. The positive properties are enlightened, love, protected, wisdom, discerning, spiritually opening, and connected to the Father. Lavender essential oil is a really popular one. You can give this to someone who's having a hard time sleeping, having a hard time calming down, headaches. I mean, this one is a really powerful one too, with many different benefits. What I really like about this one is it actually helps open up the communication aspect. So this aids in verbal expression and calms the mind, the insecurities, and addresses a deep fear of being seen and heard by supporting courageous spirit and freedom to one's truth and self. This one can be taken topically, it can be taken internally and used aromatically. Lavender aids in verbal expression and calms the mind. Specifically, it calms the insecurities that are felt when one risks their true thoughts and feelings. Lavender addresses a deep fear of being seen and heard. Now, how many kids look like that, right? That's really incredible. Lavender supports individuals in releasing the tension and constriction that stems from withheld expression. Through lavender's courageous spirit, all are free to share their true self with others. This would be a good one to diffuse in the art room, definitely. Negative emotions that it's addressing is blocked communication, fear of rejection, constriction, uh, constricted, tense, racing thoughts, emotional dishonesty, hiding, fear of self disclosure, insecurity, feeling unseen, unheard, or unloved. The positive properties are open communication, calm, expressive, emotionally honest, self aware, and peace of mind. Okay, the next oil that we're going to talk about. Oh, Melissa, I forgot to put the right thing on here. Let me grab that real quick. Ta-da! So I went ahead and added the Melissa label for the Melissa roller bottles, and the Melissa is a huge, powerful, this has got to be the strongest oil if you're like between this one and frankincense. If you're dealing with someone who is extremely depressed, can't get out of bed, Melissa is the powerful oil to use for that. This assists in acceptance and understanding to one's experiencing emotional shock and anger. It awakens the soul to the light and releases unwanted feelings. This one can be used topically and aromatically. And the reading on this one is Melissa awakens the soul to the truth and light. It reminds individuals of who they truly are and why they came to this earth. Melissa invites one to release everything and anything that holds them back from reaching their fullest potential. Melissa assists individuals in receiving spiritual guidance by the way of reconnecting them with their inner voice. Through the intense light and vibration of the soil has to offer, individuals may feel that they cannot help but let go of the feelings of darkness, despair, and the low vibrations that they're holding that is holding them down. So Melissa is like an herb. It's a part of the family, like the basil and the spearmint and peppermint family, not basil, peppermint. So the negative emotions that is it despairing, hope, darkness, burden, loss of will to live, and overwhelmed. The positive properties are enlightened, joyful, energized, integrity, spiritually disconnected or spiritually connected, contagious enthusiasm, and liberated optimistic. I really like that they're talking about, the loss of will to live. When people get to that deep darkness area, that this brings light, it brings joy, it brings integrity. I just think that's just pretty cool. Okay, now Anchor is part of the yoga oils. And when I was choosing some oils to have at the center, there's so many beautiful oils. I don't know why I picked this one. I think because the Intune was out of stock and that was the one I really wanted. But this one was a good choice because it comes in a box of 3 oils: Anchor, Align, and Arise. And I thought this would give us a little more flexibility for less amount of spending to get started with. And, when we're talking about a lot of emotions and stuff, these grounding oils and steady oils are really very powerful. So let me dive into this one. Anchor. Anchor is offering steadiness when experience upheaval and instability. Its calm, present, and supportive aroma extends an energetic arm to lean on. So it's kind of like walking around with somebody putting their arm around you, just loving you. So it's a steady oil, so it's going to steady you. So Anchor offers its steadiness to individuals when they are experiencing upheaval and instability, either in their outward or inward life. Its calm, present, and supportive aroma extends to the energetic arm to lean on. Anchor reminds that the separateness, uncertainty, and concealment are symptoms of fear, not solutions. Anchor encourages individuals to step into the path before them with the faith and courage, offering reassurance that it will be there, holding space for as long as it's needed. The negative emotion is unsteady, upheaval, uncertain, and separated. The positive properties are steadiness, calm, present, supported, clear, and courageous. This is a blend of lavender, cedarwood, frankincense, cinnamon. That's the first time we've seen something like that, right? Cinnamon, sandalwood, and black pepper and patchouli. I love the smell of this oil. It's really nice. And that's another reason why I think I chose these oils is because they do smell really good. And I think it's more inviting for people who are brand new to oils to be able to start trying them. So Arise offers a tranquil aroma, suggesting harmony to the mind and body and balance to the emotions. Arise invites individuals to rise up and meet their life. This blend teaches that most individuals are living well beneath their potential. It invites them to choose in this moment to reclaim the fullness that they were always meant to experience here. This blend expands the soul and helps it realize it's capable of more than it ever thought possible. A Rise blend can powerfully lift the despondent or burdened individual and fill them with enthusiasm, joy, and optimism. This one is to be taken aromatically or topically. And the negative emotions are burden, joyless, pessimistic, fragmented, and spiritually disconnected. The positive properties are integrated, intuitiveness, lifted, joyful, enthusiastic, optimistic, and actualized. I kind of like to call this one futuristic thinking, like looking into the future. Because when you look into the future, who that gives you right now in the moment is like excitement. If I told you, I'm going to send you to Hawaii tomorrow, all expenses paid, and here are the tickets. You'd be going, whoa, be pretty excited, but you're not in Hawaii yet. So why are you excited, right? And so it's that futuristic kind of oil. The ingredients are lots of citrus oils, so lemon and grapefruit, Siberian fir, osmanthus, and melissa. Align is the last of the yoga oils, and Align calls the soul back to its center, reaches gently into the heart space to shift heavy energies that are inhibiting the progress and flow. So I would use this oil if you're kind of feeling stuck with your client, like they sometimes they kind of feel like things are just not coming, And maybe this might be one to help support them in releasing some of those negative energies. Alignment blend calls the soul back to its center. It reaches gently into its heart space and shifts heavy energies that are inhibiting progress and disrupting stillness and flow. This blend invites individuals to pause and practice self acceptance during its moments of self reflection, which allows them to act from a more conscious and clear space. It encourages individuals to live congruently and offer true generosity to others. The line blend restores emotional balance by reorientating the heart back to its true purpose state, which is love. Negative emotions that it addresses are misalignment, confusion, conflicted, out of integrity, imbalanced, closed, distrusting, divided energies, and fractured. So that makes sense. The name align is just really beautiful, right? The positive properties are centered, aligned, being still, integrity, self acceptance, open minded, trusting, and loving. Another analogy you can look at with align would be like that robot vacuum cleaner that we have in our homes, or some of us do. I don't, but my mom does. And, it goes around, does its work, right? And then it goes back to the charging station and gets all juiced back up and maybe dumps out the negative trash that it picked up along the way, and then it rejuvenates itself and out it goes again, right? And so I kind of think this one's like the robot vacuum cleaner. Okay, so Touchstone, this one here is I came up with some blends just by looking through this book here that's called I Am Fabulous. And this book has a lot of amazing recipes that you can make your own blends. And just kind of thinking through some different things of at the center, what could be some issues that people could be having. And I know, like in my experience, it sure seems that a lot of people hang on to the false truths. Like, there's these beliefs that we have that we made when we are 3 years old. Like, I'm not good enough because daddy didn't listen to me or something, right? And it's a 3 year old, doesn't even know what's going on. But we carry these beliefs with us. And a lot of times it's like unworthiness, that you don't matter, all that kind of stuff. So this oil, I am loved, I thought would be really powerful for even just the name, for people at the center. And this assists in false beliefs of unworthiness. It's letting go of bitterness of past actions that are perceived as unsupportive. So that could be a lot of things that are happening, for an individual. So breaking down some of these oils, I'm not going to go through and read them all, but again, we talked about frankincense. Hope is actually a beautiful oil that is actually all the money is donated when this oil is purchased is donated to a program called the Healing Hands Program, and it's a people like me, I can actually create a Healing Hands initiative, and I'm thinking that we should do this for the Youth Resource Center. And so all the proceeds that people use to buy the oils from Touchstone's account, would have the proceeds and the profits go to the Youth Resource Center. And what we can do is I can create a donation section of doTERRA, and we can put that money into that, and doTERRA will match it. So that's pretty cool. But this oil is actually given out to the sex trafficking trade. So they know they can come across some women and give that, or it could be boys too, give them this oil, and it will help them move through the difficult times that they're feeling. If they're feeling unloved, unworthy, abandoned, betrayed, filled with shame, helps overcome emotions associated with loss of innocence, stolen childhoods, and unthinkable trauma. So this is actually given out. doTERRA has people that goes out on the streets and places where they know where these people are hanging out, like casinos and things like that, and they will give them these oils. The positive property of the hope oil is hopeful, courageous, self-acceptance, believing, healing, and rebirth. Rebirth, isn't that incredible? Fennel essential oil supports individuals who have weakened sense of self. The individual may feel defeated by life's responsibilities and no desire to improve their situation. So fennel reignites the passion for life. Fennel also supports individuals in listening to the subtle messages of the body. So this is incredible. This oil is talking to you. This is especially important in situations where there has been a loss of connection to the body's natural signs and signals due to emotional eating, severe dieting, eating issues, or drug abuse. The lack or the negative emotions is lack of desire, unwilling to take responsibility, shamefulness, weak sense of self, numb to the body signals. The positive properties are responsible, in tune with the body, and satiated. I can't say that word either. Okay, so we can keep going on. I can go through all these here. Um, but it's just really important to know and understand that I went through and created these blends, and we can make more blends. We can come up with some stuff that you may see, make note of what you would like to see. And like I came up with the name of this one that I matter. So if you gave this to a child that was feeling discouraged or upset, and hey, here's your buddy. This oil is something, this means you matter. It's a willingness to favorably receive something that has been offered, assist in choosing to believe. And it includes lang-a-lang, Spanish sage, bergamot, and spikenard. I'm going to reach over here to the Spanish sage, and the Spanish sage is talking about memory. And we have misconceptions of what's going on in our life, but Spanish sage is an ally when navigating memory and cognitive challenges. Memories are emotional, and therefore, difficulty accessing or recalling a memory can be deeply troubling. Likewise, decreased cognitive ability can contribute to negativity, self evaluations, lower self esteem. Spanish Sage asks individuals to face their own vulnerability, move towards acceptance, and to be honest about upsetting experiences, but also grateful for the good moments. It inspires them to resist despair and focus instead on the present and what they can still do, and hold on to hope of restoration. It reminds all that they are loved and cherished by the divine creator who will never abandon or forget them in their hour of need. I just love that. And, even if you hung on to these pages and read them to people, so that they can understand that and have something to grab onto, have like these affirmations, these words of affirmations, encouragement. Spikenard encourages true appreciation for life. It addresses patterns of ingratitude where individuals see themselves as targets or bad luck or victims in life. Spikenard encourages the soul to surrender and accept life exactly as it is. It teaches individuals to be grateful for their challenges as well as their blessings. Spikenard also assists individuals in transcending their own sorrows through being grateful for their present life circumstances. So the last set that I have at the center, and this is fractionated coconut oil. And this is not like an aromatic oil, it's actually a base oil. And I put it in little dropper bottles, and it's for safety basically. So if someone accidentally rubs their eyes and they get the oil in their eyes, no problem. It's gonna hurt, but it's not gonna be harmful. They can just take this fractionated coconut oil, put it on some Kleenex, and they can just take it and just don't even touch the eye. It acts like a magnet. It's so bizarre, and it just pulls that oil right out of the eye. It's really bizarre, but it's incredible. And so this is at the center, and should be with everybody's little stash of oils, so that way, in case that happens, you can use this. So another oil that I have at the center is On Guard, and just for quick this is gonna help guard them if they're feeling too vulnerable. It's gonna help them get strength and boost their immune function. So this oil is really good for during the pandemic, helping guard them, helping protect them, all that kind of stuff. This oil is for grief. It supports emotional cleansing and respiratory function. When people are grieving, they have low breath and shallow breath. And so being able to put this breathe, you can put it in a diffuser, sleeping at night, it will actually help get that oxygen into your lungs and really help you feel supported emotionally. It's incredible. The Intune oil, now, I may have shown you this video, it was on the website, but I'm gonna go ahead and, click on it here so you guys can watch it because I just love this video. Intune has been a game changer for me. When I was dealing with my major stomach issues, this oil I absolutely love. It smells good, has a little bit of patchouli, so if you're not a patchouli fan, maybe it may not be your favorite, but I think every child who has ADHD should be on this oil. So go ahead and listen to it, Everett has to say.
If my brain could talk to me, it would say, like, go hide under your desk, go talk to your friends, go throw a pencil across the room and make somebody mad. Something like that. I had a tough time focusing and listening to the teacher what would say, and even the times that I did listen, I was usually forget, and then I would ask the teacher what it was again, and then she would just get mad at me and say I wasn't focusing and wasn't listening, so that kind of affected my grades a little bit. Made me feel like I wasn't that good of a kid, and everybody else was doing way better than me. They usually got like a straight O's, and outstanding is what it means, or A pluses. Before I used to get satisfaction, so yeah, kind of good, but not really.
One time, his teacher pulled me aside and just shared with me all of the negative things that Everest had been doing. And just the list went on, and she had no solutions for me, just problems. And I remember going out in the car and calling my husband and just sobbing because didn't know what to do for him. And I know he wanted so badly to be good, and he would even pray at night about it.
At night, I would pray that I would usually say like that I could focus in school better and please help the teachers not yell at me and help me be better than I was yesterday. Something like that.
It's really hard watching your child suffer and not knowing what to do to help them. And we even contemplated going with medication, but I really didn't want to go that route. I wasn't comfortable with it. So I was talking to my mom one day, and she introduced me to some Focus Blend essential oils and said, this might help. You should try it.
I use the Focus Blend by putting it on the back of my neck, and it helps because it's easier to get up to my brain, just right up there. So, and I kept it in my pocket. My brain was really foggy and it was hard to think. And after it wasn't so foggy, it only had like an inch of fog, and that's not that much for what I had, like 5 or a foot of fog.
So I applied the Focus Blend essential oils to Everest on a Thursday. And I went into school the following Monday and asked his teacher, so how has he been doing? And she said, he has been so different. What did you do? And I said, well, when did you notice a difference? And she said, Thursday. That's the same day that we started applying the essential oils.
Now my brain would say, good job, keep going, you're doing so great. And like when I wasn't doing so good, you're like, you were doing so good today. Why are you suddenly not doing good? Go, 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 you're going so fast. Go, go, go. Something like that.
It's amazing because now he's coming home with all outstandings, A pluses, great self-esteem, has lots more friends, and helping around the house, which is amazing. And I am so happy.
One day I got a Star Student Award, and it's something that they get picked out of the whole class, and some people got picked twice because they were so good. And it felt really great because it felt like I had a new thing of honor in the classroom, and everybody respected me a little bit more, and they were a little bit nicer. Now that I have better grades in school, I might have a chance on getting into the other good colleges. And my future job is actually being a teacher. I just like seeing kids, and it's kind of fun. Essential oils are really, really great. They can help kids and sometimes parents.
It's just such a good video. It inspires me so much to be uh, using these oils, seeing the difference that they're making. So we can go through and talk about different oils like grounding oils. We can talk about, again, when I showed you that chart, lavender, lemon, and peppermint are the most popular oils. There's a kit you can actually um, It comes in lavender, lemon, and peppermint, and lemon is the oil of focus, just like we were saying. And oh, I wanted to go back and read the Intune oil on the chart because I didn't put it up here. The Intune oil, in contrast to the lemon oil, known as the oil focus, Intune calms the mind, facilitating inner peace, whereas lemon activates the mind. Intune quiets and grounds mental forces. It is especially beneficial to those with short attention spans. It encourages individuals to remain in the present with tasks at hand and to complete a project, goal, or activity before moving into the next. With the support of Intune, individuals are empowered to live fully connected to the present moment. So, yeah, pretty cool. Okay, so with lavender, lemon, and peppermint, peppermint is another oil that we have at the center, and peppermint brings joy and buoyancy to the heart and soul. It invigorates the body, mind, and spirit. It reminds individuals that life can be happy and they don't have to be controlled by fear. The power of peppermint can be felt most in times of discouragement or despair. When individuals are disheartened, they may see and use peppermint to rediscover the joy of being alive. So, and then when we go here, we know a lot of emotions come from hormones. So these are the women's blends that are really powerful for that time of month and or the irritability that happens and the emotions that are out of control. And digestin, again, when I started doing doTERRA, digestin is the oil of assimilation. Remember when we were talking about the gut and being able to allow the oils, um, you know, your gut process and assimilate things? Overload of information and stimulation may lead to an emotional form of indigestion where the individual cannot break down life experiences into palatable forms. Digestion oil blend increases one's ability to receive new information, new relationships, and new experiences, and to be open to new possibilities. Love that. These are the oils that are in the digestion blend. And deep blue, I love deep blue on the back of my neck before I go to sleep. Deep blue is very calming. It's called the soothing blend, but it's good for like sports. People like to have run out and exercise, have arthritis, sore muscles, that kind of stuff. This oil is more for that, but it actually has a lot of benefits in surrendering pain. So if you're dealing with a client that's dealing with pain, offer them this oil. The strength to face emotional wounds, allow the wounds to surface for transformation and healing. This blend can teach individuals how to be the observer or their painful experiences rather than over identifying with them. At its core, Deep Blue teaches individuals acceptance and tolerance of their pain. Loss can feel like its own manufacture into the body and muscles and bones, and deep blue can also assist one in resisting and or avoiding the emotions that can underlie their physical pain. And here are some gut oils. Again, we talked on another video that the gateway to our health and to our emotions is the gut. So, doing a cleanse and having that kind of stuff happen is really important. These oils are really powerful for helping with the toxicity and the heavy metals that are in our body. And so, we love the Zendocrine for everyday kind of self support. And, gosh, I got all these oils here. I thought I'd, go ahead and just take a screenshot of this. We don't have these oils here at the center. We do have frankincense, but not these 2 oils at the center. So let's see. Now, there are 3 ways that people can use the oils. Now, be mindful, some of them you can't take internally, but you can use a diffuser. So that is a really powerful way for people to use the oils at the center. Maybe we have the diffuser running in the reception room and definitely in the intake room. You can we have extra diffusers that they can sit with a diffuser when they're sitting in a recliner chair. And if you have a client that may be having difficulty with communication or transformation, maybe start the diffuser before you meet with them in the room and see how that goes. It's very small. You can't even tell the smell is there. So, but it does make a huge difference. Also, topically, these are rollers because I want to get them on their bodies. The rollers are designed for little kids. They are diluted perfectly for these kids to have them. And so just roll on the back of the neck or on the bottom of the feet. If they don't like the smell, just tell the parent to put it on the bottom of the feet before they go to bed. And when they wake up and get dressed, put their socks on, put on the bottom of their feet again. Um, all the pulse points behind the ears is a good spot, over the stomach. They also say in the navel, of the belly button area is a good spot too, and internal. So keep mindful that like lavender and frankincense you can take internally, but serenity is not. And so be mindful of which oils that are marked to take internally, but they can put some oil on their thumb, or it's kind of hard to take internally when it's basically in the roller bottle. But I do have those little droppers. And did I bring a dropper with me? Yeah, here's a dropper. I have some of the droppers at the center that, we wanted this one, like this. And these droppers are really super cute. They have a little dropper inside them. And so this is a good way to use for a diffuser or for them to take internally too. They can just drop it under their tongue if they want to. Okay. Okay, so now some safety tips here. Again, you want to avoid the eyes, inside the ears and nose. It just could be a little extra sensitive. It's not going to hurt them. Again, you can take the fractionated coconut oil and use that to magnetize it out of those areas. You can dilute with fractionated coconut oil. So all these roller bottles that we have at the center are diluted. So that's really important to know. They're diluted for babies. So they can't overuse these really. It's not going to be Odine or anything like that. They can use these oils with medications. It's not going to interfere with their medications. And with the citrus oils, because they have photosynthesis in them, you don't want to put them like on your face and then go outside right away with the hot sun because it will tan you. So be sure to use maybe the citrus oils on your feet or something like that. Keep the oils at an average room temperature. Don't put them in a hot car. You don't want to freeze them. Some people do store them in the refrigerator, and that's okay. Um, so. Now, if you do find that you have some sensitivity to your skin, it's because your body's detoxing. And go ahead and use some of the lavender or a different oil, change it up. Um, you can use fractionated coconut oil to kind of calm that. We also make what we call a healing salve, which is a nice thing to just, it has beeswax and avocado oil and coconut oil in there, so it's really nice calming. It's like a saline or a Vaseline. So don't use Vaseline, you guys. That stuff's horrible. It's made out of petroleum products. Okay, so here is the app of another way to find a lot of health protocols. It does have some information about the safety, has information on this app on the emotional aspects of it too. And you can go through and look up the different ways to use the oils. And I decided to do a slide, and I don't know why both things aren't showing here, but this is, where I purchased the products. I purchased both the roller bottles and these bottles at Amazon, and, I think it's really important that we keep the same bottles because I've actually gone through and measured the labels and everything to fit them exactly, so we wanna be consistent, and, we kinda priced it out too so that it's not too expensive to be handing these out to people. Okay, so I think that's everything. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing that and come back to you. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for listening to me. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. I'd be happy to help. Thank you. Take care.